giving me excitations. Hi, welcome back. Or greetings for the first time. Wow, I just turned my computer on and Adolf Benker, right, was an artist. That kind of, I don't know how that happened. Yeah, I came across this artist yesterday, or today, this morning, in fact. Yeah, he's a Slovakian guy that moved to San Diego or California, maybe in San Francisco. I don't know. I've only just started learning about him, but yeah, he's got some really cool oil paintings. Anyway, I hope you guys are well. Welcome back, or welcome to my channel. I'm Ad, or Adam, or Ad Absurdum, or yeah, whatever you please. And I've got lots to share with you today. I'm attempting to become more coherent and more concise in the messages I wish to deliver in any particular video, as yeah, I'm coming to understand that we do indeed live in a multiverse, or I do anyway, or I live in many multiverses, or I'm an infinite being, and I like to have these moments of what I've come to call contemplation, where I try to cognize all these many different concepts, ideas, flavors, smells, tastes, sensations that come my way throughout my day, my week, my life, you know. And yeah, this has been a tremendously healing kind of part of my journey, and I find it really beneficial to be able to watch myself back, even if no one else is watching me, you know. It's nice to kind of hear my ramblings and maybe kind of streamline that for the future. And this channel, I'm hoping, well, I don't really care either way. This is kind of I'm going to be kind of, I've got some anonymity, that's why I'm not like tagging videos or anything like that yet. I'm just letting it grow and just flowing and just talking and whatever comes to mind. And I've been talking a lot about the simulation theory and the quantum universe, and I was going to talk about this article today called Mirror Worlds Merged. Meet the particle that is both matter and antimatter. This was a proposal that was made, or a paper that was written. I've lost my page. And at the beginning of the article it references Rudyard Kipling's East and West. And although I find that familiar, it's since my childhood, Rudyard Kipling, you know, and so I'm going to have to check that out, because I believe all these stories are encoded and they're all allegorical and they all tell a great deep truths, you know. And East and West is within, you know, it's the kind of the right and the left hemisphere of the brain. Westworld, you know, or the West Side, yeah, it's the cowboys, you know, and then the East is more the kind of the shamanic, the natural, the kind of the living with the earth, not kind of industry and kind of excess. And I don't know, it's something I'm working on. You'll have to read the book when I finally get round to it. So yeah, oh, matter is matter and antimatter is antimatter, and never the twain shall meet. That line has a poetic ring of truth about it, perhaps more so than Rudyard Kipling's original about East and West. After all, if matter and antimatter do meet, their mutual destruction is assured, as they annihilate in a flash of light. Or do they? Almost as soon as antimatter burst onto the scene 80 years ago, another possibility was aired, that certain particles dubbed adjournment particles after their proposer might be matter and antimatter at the same time. There we go. So yeah, frequency, light, vibration, that's what Tesla said. In order to understand the nature of reality, you need to understand frequency, light and vibration. And I've come to this is how I understand my reality now, and I understand that kind of we do indeed tune in to different frequencies and different broadcasts. We do get kind of cajoled, and we get like pop-ups even in the astro plane and other worlds. There's like the whole idea of gatekeepers, without kind of making it really kind of dark and overwhelming and kind of fear kind of based. Yeah, they're there to let us know that we're kind of passing through certain realities, you know, and saying things are parallel or saying that you ascend is really the words fall short, the language falls short. So changing your frequency or entering a different kind of dimension or a different frequency, you have to know that you've kind of gone through the door. You have to know that you've kind of arrived there or got there. That's what I've found anyway. Or when I've gone back to a reality that I've formerly been in, you know, that maybe I've still got some kind of unfinished business or someone to kind of deliver a message to. Maybe I'm delivering this message to you guys now. Well, of course I am. But yeah, there was a chap, I was listening to a video earlier on, and he was talking about how the Schumann resonance has increased to 33. It's gone from 7.5 to 14 up to 33 hertz per second, and this is why this is his theory as to why people are feeling kind of freaked out. I'm going to make another proposal that yes, there is an Earth that vibrates at 33 hertz, and he may well be there, and that video may come from that dimension, that Earth. There goes the phone. You won't believe me. That phone call, right, was a wrong number. The fella on the end says, "This is one of your faithful customers. Account blah 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 blah." And I said, "I'm terribly sorry, sir. Who are you looking for?" And he said, "The Coventry Building Society." I said, "I'm not the Coventry Building Society. I wish I was." But yeah, people, that was a phrase, being sent to Coventry if you were crazy. So if indeed this is a simulation, this is another thing that I've played around with, that this is some kind of, I don't know, simulated rehab where we come to kind of iron out kind of parts of our personality and psyche. You know, like the movie, you know, Shutter Island, when he believes he's the detective and then he's actually an inpatient or outpatient or out of it patient. So yeah, weird little distraction. This place can't be real. I felt like I was being programmed then when he phoned up. How odd. The phone was still going then. Perhaps they're on to me. Anything to throw me off. So what were we talking about? Yeah, we were talking about Adolf Benker. We were talking about mirror worlds merged. We were talking about the multiverse and my kind of experiencing kind of tripping through that, and why people feel imbalances in their body, why people feel dissonance and cognitive bias. Right, let's talk about the ear ringing thing. this is your head. Well, this is my head. Well, this isn't my head. This is just the head, right? So yeah, we've got east and west, two hemispheres, right? And your head should be floating on the top of your spine, on your shoulders, through a combination of different pressures of gas. You've got sacs that fill with air. It's actually hydrogen, you know, and in order to get that into your cranium, you know, you need to be able to rest and relax certain kind of vessels and glands and kind of nerves. If indeed your spine's compressed, like most people, the first 5 vertebrae of your spine will more or less be fused together, you know, so that energy running up the spine. So like I say, it's not just gas, it's obviously blood and water, and yeah, so it's, I'm really getting blocked from saying this was really important. So when your spine begins to open up, when your head begins to kind of open up, when you start to be able to balance your breath, when you start to be able to kind of vibrate, you know, and raise your frequency and raise your kundalini, you have the Ida and the Pingala, which are the two kind of like main nadis, and then you have the Sushumna, which is the central channel, and the Sushumna, I think, vibrates with the Schumann resonance, and yeah, that's what comes to mind earlier. I've really been blocked. I've really been kind of full on bad buzzed. I'm talking in tongues, I know I am, but I need to make these videos so I can get a bit more kind of able to put this into words. So, the earringing thing, when those channels open up and you start kind of getting that swimmy feeling, you have crystals within your ears, you have little tiny crystals, far out, right? Yeah, for sure. You actually, can you hear the birds? The universe is letting me know that I'm doing the right thing. Yeah, so you've got little tiny crystals in your ears, and if those crystals aren't aligned correctly, you know, you can get vertigo, you can get kind of weird vision, you can get all sorts of mad stuff going on. But predominantly what this world is designed to do is to keep you in the in Westworld, you know, in the left hemisphere of the brain. That's why most people, like I have to kind of do a lot of yoga and a lot of balance work. The body is self-rebalancing, you know, so when you meditate and when you do yoga, you are bringing yourself back to the center, you are bringing yourself back to where east and west meet, you know. You can go to both extremes, you can go beyond both extremes. As William Blake said, the road to excess leads to the palace of wisdom. And if you have ever read, or if you're familiar with the story Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse, the story of the awakening of the Buddha, or a Buddha, where he lives the life of the ascetic, and he fasts and he does yoga and meditation and spiritual inquiry, and then he gets an opportunity to meet a real spiritual master, and he turns it down, and instead he goes to kind of live with this really affluent merchant, and he ends up kind of carrying on with his wife, and he lives a life that isn't ultimately kind of pure in the eyes of not read the book, but like I say, that is a common story where you have to kind of really go from one end of the spectrum to the other. And I believe that all of those are worlds, and trying to find your vibration, or not find your vibration, just finding a balance, you know, between east and west. And I find it easier, and I think this is why the whole dualistic thinking is so predominant. because when we are ultimately kind of in creativity, it's like living in another world when we're in that other area of the brain, or when we have that other hemisphere of the brain activated. I feel that, I totally feel that when I'm able to open that up, and I'm able to do it now through breath work or yoga or meditation, certain music, certain frequency, and it can quite often feel like that scene from The Matrix, you know, where the spike goes into the back of the spine, when all that opens up, when that pops, and yeah, I'm being attacked today, or I'm opening up, whatever, either way. So before this runs too long, I'm just going to upload this because I just want to watch this back, listen to what I said, refine it, work with it again. So the ear thing, it's barotrauma. You know, when your spine is compressed, there is more kind of air, there is an imbalance in the crystals, in the kind of eustachian tube is kind of, it can be plugged, you know, and until you kind of clear this stuff out of your body, this gunk, you know, this mucus, wax, whatever. Hydrogen peroxide is phenomenal for cleaning the ears. Food grade hydrogen peroxide, about 3%, 3.5% hydrogen peroxide. Spray some in your ear, lay on one side, do it on the other side, kind of breathe, and then release it. Just turn it, and it's just water with an extra oxygen atom. So that'll help for the ear thing. It has for me. Breath work, pranayama breathing. It really is that our systems are opening up again, and we're able to really, because it's not just air that we're breathing, you know, Neo, you know, there's a lot more out there to it, and whatever we choose to kind of feed our bodies or indeed take into our bodies, that becomes us, you know, or our experience. Yeah, that'll do for now. That feels good. But it's good to check in with you guys. I hope you're all well. I hope you're not freaking out about kind of going through this mad multiverse that we live in, or multiverses that we live in. But what I wanted to kind of just, my point I wanted to make today, if there is a point, is don't become so, in your language, don't become so definite at where you're living or where you're fixed. You don't have to dwell in Westworld, you know, you can kind of, as it says, as Jesus said, cast your net to the right side, you know, or cast your energy to the right hand side, you know, the right side of the boat, east, you know, make your camp to the east, you know. Anyway, I'm going to spark this, I'm going to come down a little bit. Yeah. Have a nice evening, have a nice day, have a nice week, have a nice infinity. I'll see you again soon. Stay tuned.